Welcome to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. Well, folks, we got some important news to talk about as it relates to the price of Bitcoin. In yesterday's podcast, we talked about Bitcoin having a historic close to March from a monthly as well as a weekly standpoint, setting records. However, this morning we saw the DXY broke out. That's the dollar currency index. It's looking really strong. It had shown some signs of weakness weeks ago, but now it just looks really strong. Here, one analyst highlighted the DXY is currently breaking out of resistance. Will this bring downward pressure on risk assets? And risk assets, of course, Bitcoin, altcoins, crypto. You're talking about the NASDAQ and much more, right? So, of course, if you've been a subscriber to the podcast, you know this, guys. If the DXY is pumping, more likely than not, risk assets are going down, and vice versa. Now, that is not always the case, but I would say it's largely the case over time when you look at the data. So my hope is that this move by the DXY is short-lived, because otherwise we're going to see some more consolidation from Bitcoin, maybe Bitcoin going down a bit. Right now it's trading just over $69,500. So could it go down and break downwards again to the 60s or 58,000 range? Possibly. Or it could continue to move sideways, build support levels, and then move up. Maybe we got another week or two before the halving hits and then it starts moving up, right? So we got to be prepared for all scenarios and we got to watch this closely. Now, from a macro standpoint, and obviously what I just shared there is from the micro, right? We're talking in the month and weekly and so forth. But from the macro, from a quarterly perspective and the rest of the year, we're headed to higher highs. We are in a bull market. As a reminder to many of you, we are in a uptrend. So we'll get there. It's just exercising patience and looking at the charts and staying up to date with the fundamentals and much more. So the market's seeing a bit of a pullback here because Bitcoin pulled back. So we know how that story goes. So we got to just watch this closely. Once again, we could see some additional downward pressure as this DXY continues pumping. But my hope is that it tops out somewhere soon and then starts rolling over. All right, let's take a look at the top coins that are trending on social media. This data is brought to you by Sentiment. And if you want to get a premium Sentiment account, you can get a discount using my referral link or code ThinkingCrypto. First coin that's trending here is USDT, which is Tether on Avalanche. And it's getting the majority of social media mentions with positive sentiment. Coming in at number 2 is Jupiter, JUP, with positive sentiment. And you got number 3, Core, CORE, but this is cvault.finance. I've never heard of this, coming in with positive sentiment as well. DGen is coming in here at number 4 with positive sentiment. Bitcoin coming in at number 5 with positive sentiment, but the negative sentiment is pretty high in comparison to how it's trending in the past. So positive sentiment is at 46%, negative sentiment is at 36%. So I think people are turning a bit negative because of the pullback that we saw today, especially after the historic close that we saw yesterday. Tron, TRX, is trending here at number 6 and it has positive sentiment. Solana comes in at 7 with positive sentiment as well. Avegachi, GHST, never heard of this. I don't know what this is, if this is a meme coin, but it has positive sentiment coming in at number 8. Then you have a meme coin, Cat in a Dog's World, Mew, coming in at 9 with positive sentiment, although its negative sentiment is high at 36%. And then we have Ethereum coming in at 10 with positive sentiment as well. So interesting what's trending right now, folks. And this is sometimes a good indication to see which coins are moving, which ones are seeing price actions, or some major news is happening. So once again, if you want to check out Sentiment, link in the description. So guys, some news around Sam Bankman-Fried, and I have to preface this statement because today is April Fool's, right? It's April 1st. Sam Bankman-Fried speaks out after being sentenced 25 years in prison. He said, "I never thought that what I was doing was illegal." Oh my gosh, I want to face palm right now. Like, dude, really? Really? You're commingling funds and then sending it over to your BS trading firm, Alameda Research, which is being run by your pseudo girlfriend and people who have no experience trading and have been losing money like crazy. I mean, come on, dude, really? And then you're lying to the public about your FTT token and much more. So unbelievable. I don't know if he's just saying this so people can take it easy on him. He can't be, he's a smart guy. So I don't think he's actually believing what he's saying here. I think he's just, trying to put these narratives out there so people can go easy on him. But look, he's going to jail. You do the crime, pay the time.
They put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing.
Now, we got two updates around two major legal and court decisions that we got last week. And one was SEC versus Coinbase, as well as the other being Custodia versus the Fed. So Stuart Alderati of Ripple highlighted the following. He said last week's Coinbase decision was 4 different confusing definitions of what constitutes a crypto ecosystem. He said, if this sounds like legal gibberish, it is. According to the SEC, whenever you acquire a token, you are always investing in an amorphous ecosystem, regardless of why or how or where you acquired it. Now, he gave screenshots of the different places that the SEC mentioned these things, and you can just see the hypocrisy, the double standards, making things up. So he's absolutely right here. And we know this. We're dealing with a scumbag regulator that is Gary Gensler. They will lie. They will stab you in the back. They don't care about the law. Just look what happened in the debt box case. They lied to the courts and the judge sanctioned them. They got called arbitrary and capricious for not approving the Bitcoin spot ETFs. So we're dealing with people here who are just doing whatever they can to protect the incumbents. Man, Elizabeth Warren is the one pulling a lot of strings. And they would break the law. They don't care. So the good thing, though, is that the courts are not putting up with it. And even though the judge ruled in favor of the SEC in this Coinbase case, they're going to go to discovery. So the judge is going to be able to see all the facts, like what Stuart is pointing out here. So I'm still very optimistic that Coinbase can win this, especially going to the fact that the SEC greenlighted Coinbase to go public, knew their business model, knew what they were trading, knew that they offered staking and much more, right? But we know that the 180 that is taking place is because the puppet strings are being pulled here. The banking incumbents control Elizabeth Warren, who controls Gary Gensler, and Gary's running the SEC this way. And of course, we don't have comprehensive regulations from Congress yet. So Stewart continues saying, once Judge Torres in the Ripple case, Ivy League educated with Bronx Street sense, looked at the full evidentiary record, she understood the SEC had strayed far from Howey, where a promoter made promises directly to investors about a clearly defined enterprise. So we've often talked about it. This is not 1930 something with orange trees and orange groves in Florida. These are tokens distributed globally on decentralized blockchains. Now, don't get me wrong. There are centralized blockchains out there that could be considered securities, right? But we need to update the Howey to be able to respond to that. And I think we're seeing many folks are saying intrinsically the tokens are not securities. It's a matter of how they're offered up. So you have to treat each token separately and look at the facts and circumstances. But of course, the SEC only uses that facts and circumstances narrative to their own convenience, not in trying to honestly and fairly regulate the market. So we got to keep fighting. We're dealing once again with a scumbag regulator. We're dealing with people who would break the law. Just look at what happened in the debt box situation. Now, on to Custodia versus the Fed. Eleanor Terry of Fox Business actually spoke to former Senator Pat Toomey about this situation on that ruling. And unfortunately, the judge sided with the Fed on that lawsuit. She said, just had a great conversation with Senator Pat Toomey, or former Senator Pat Toomey, who describes the judge's 2 opinions below as completely contradictory and inconsistent, and the summary judgment decision as completely wrong. Former Senator Pat Toomey wrote an amicus brief on behalf of Custodia Bank and passed a law when he was in Congress that requires the Fed to reveal the list of entities that it's granted master accounts to. On that list, non-banks, including the Texas Comptroller of the Public Accounts, Fidelity Management Trust Company, and Raymond James Trust Company. More on my conversation with Toomey and Judge Skadal's, if I'm saying that right, decision to come. So I'm curious to hear what else Senator Pat Toomey had to say, but he's saying this is wrong. So I think the folks at Custodia may appeal. We'll have to wait and see what they do. But we're in a fight here, guys, and it's the Treasury, it's the Fed, all these folks, many of them are just being hypocrites and breaking the law themselves to just slow down and roadblock crypto. And I think once again, we all know why that is. Nevertheless, the industry continues to move forward, investing, building. We're seeing new projects popping up globally. We're seeing massive amounts of capital flowing into the industry. So here, Powerhouse, A16Z, Andreessen Horowitz, many of you know, they have a gaming fund, and then they're going to invest $30 million in multiple startups. So A16Z, they're no small fish, guys. They are whales. And I often look at which tokens you're invested in because they often do perform well because, you know, they do their due diligence and they put a lot of capital into different tokens. So Gamefi, I believe, is going to be huge. I believe Gamefi tokens are going to have a massive future, not only in this bull market, but the future bull markets. Now, in full transparency, I don't hold any Gamefi tokens. My big bet was AI tokens, but there are game tokens that can do well. And look, I can't invest in everything, and I will do my research, and I'll let you guys know if I do take a position. But right now, I have not. But let me give you the details. Top venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz announced on Monday it plans to invest $30 million in multiple startups. I'm investing $30 million in the next 45 days via A16Z speedrun program. A16Z general partner Andrew Chen posted on X. $750,000 per startup that joins the speedrun program will invest, work with you, expose you to the world's top investors / mentors, etc. Chen helps oversee the firm's Game Fund 1, a $600 million fund launched nearly 2 years ago. Although Games Fund 1 invests in various gaming adjacent technologies, including artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, and more, it also funds Web3 startups. Games Fund 1 includes the founders of successful tech and gaming companies, including Roblox, Discord, Riot Games, and Sky Mavis co-founders Alex Larson and Jeffrey Zerlin. Sky Mavis created Axie Infinity, the first blockchain game to attract a larger number of gamers. So very cool, guys. And Axie Infinity actually did really well in the last bull market. So this is a category you want to look at, guys, and see where you can take a position. Obviously, do your research, do your due diligence, right? And like I said, I don't hold Axie Infinity. I don't hold any GameFi tokens, but I am researching it. But I took my big bet on AI tokens, and that paid off well, holding Render and Fetch and so forth. All right, guys, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain, which is one of the top layer 1 enterprise blockchains out there, building incredible Web3 and decentralized apps. They are partnered with some of the big brands around the globe, such as PwC, BMW, Walmart, China, and Boston Consulting Group. VeChain is very fast and scalable. They are also energy efficient. I've been a VET token holder since like 2018, 2019-ish. I'm bullish on this project. That's why I asked them to become a sponsor, because I believe in it. And once again, I'm a token holder and I'm expecting great things for the VET token, this market cycle, but, do your own research. But VeChain is a great platform, guys. So go check it out. Go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Now, we got news here that Coinbase and Circle challenge Basel Committee's stablecoin requirements. So, folks, we're seeing globally governments are putting together crypto and stablecoin regulations. Now, they may not always get it right at the start. So this is where the crypto industry is coming in and saying, hey, we have to fix this, we have to remove this, or we have to add this, and so forth. A Basel Committee's proposed requirements would determine whether stablecoins will be eligible for Group 1B category, which gives preferential regulatory treatment. To be in that category, specific standards must be met, including low volatility and sufficient liquidity to the consultative document. Coinbase and Circle pushed back on the document in comment letters last week. So great to see. Once again, globally, this is happening and the industry is paying attention, because I've often stated crypto is not a US only asset class. It is a global asset class. For the first time in history, we have a truly global asset class. I know some of you are going to say, Tony, what about gold? What are you talking about, dude? Yes, we have gold, but it's never been on this level where it's real time, verifiable, and anyone can participate in the network real time and move funds. You don't have that with gold, obviously, right? Now, don't get me wrong, they are looking to tokenize gold, where gold will have some of the same attributes on the blockchain. Tokenized gold now will have the same attributes as many tokens. So that will help gold. But this all started with blockchain, Bitcoin, right? And then it evolved into other blockchains and smart contracts and much more. So everything's going on the blockchain: bonds, gold, real estate, stocks, you name it, all going on the blockchain. So great to see that the industry is recognizing what's happening globally, but this is not bad news. Once again, they're putting out the regulations. They're going to tax it. They're not banning it. And that's the key, right? Many people wanted them to ban it. Many people wanted them to kill this technology, but it's here to stay. Just like the automobile and the combustion engine, which disrupted the horse and buggy people, just like electricity and the light bulb disrupted the lantern makers and the candle makers, right, folks? Just like the internet disrupted the dictionary and phone book people and all that. I can go on and on. We've seen disruption time and time again. Disruptive technology always wins. It doesn't matter who's mad, who's sad, who's upset, who's uneducated, who the hell doesn't know what they're talking about, who, whatever bias they have. If we just look throughout history, zoom out on the macro, it always wins. And I've been telling you guys that we are in that then they fight you phase, right? As the saying goes, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you because you're starting to grow and become a force, right? And then you win. They can't stop it. The genie's out the bottle. So it's amazing to see what's happening, folks. Now, MakerDao proposes allocating $600 million worth of DAI into USDE and SUSDE. So that's a mouthful right there. MakerDao, many of you may be familiar with this project. It is a DeFi lending protocol. So MakerDao is considering allocating $600 million worth of its stablecoin DAI into USDE and staked USDE, which is SUSDE, via the DeFi lending protocol Morpho Labs. The move would put Athena total value locked growth on track with internal expectations, according to Athena's head of growth, Seraphim Zeker, if I'm saying it right. So I don't hold the MakerDao token or anything like that, but interesting update here for them. Final news item: Binance adds 3 independent members to its board. One of the new independent board will serve as chairman of the board, according to Binance's website. So as you all know, Binance got dinged. CZ had to step down. He's still going through his whole legal processing and all that jazz. Binance had to pay $4.3 billion. And but it goes back to my point. They didn't shut Binance down. They didn't say you can't operate anymore. That's it. Close your business, close your doors, send anybody home. It still exists. It's still the world's largest crypto exchange. And this is all, the government's bringing everything into compliance. We saw KuCoin got dinged last week, but they didn't get shut down. Again, going back to my point, these governments, they're going to put the guardrails in place, which is good to protect consumers. They're going to make sure you align with KYC AML laws, and they're going to tax the hell out of you, right? They're going to get their pound of flesh, their cut of the revenue. So, but look, that's the price of doing business in the world. That's how it is. And until DeFi becomes a massive force where people can easily use it and trust it, this is what we have to deal with. But I believe decentralized exchanges, DeFi, will be the future, but we're not ready yet. The technology is not there yet. Once again, for a billion people to just hop on board, it's just not there yet, but it will be. Just like the internet in the dial-up days, it was annoying, kicking people off the phone. You had to listen to the whole dial-up process. It took forever. You couldn't just hop on the internet like you can now. But eventually it evolved. It got better, future iterations, faster, broadband, all that jazz. We're going to get there, folks. So the board, which is mostly comprised of senior Binance executives, added Gabriel Abed, Zin Wang, and Arnaud Ventura to the board as independent members, according to the official website. Abed also serves as the chairman of the board. He founded BITT, and previously served as the ambassador of Barbados to the United Arab Emirates. According to a bio on the Binance website, Wang is the CEO of publicly traded or publicly listed Bayview Acquisition Corp, which is a special purpose acquisition company, SPAC. She's also a lawyer with licenses to work in California, England, and Wales. So smart move here by Binance here, bolstering their board. And they're probably turning the corner here. Let's get past the fine, let's get past CZ, and then keep growing, because they already have the brand, they already have the footprint globally. So I think smart move by them. All right, folks, final item here. Friendly reminder, I'll be at the DC Blockchain Summit, which will take place on May 15th and 16th. It's a 2-day event, but you don't have to attend for both days. You can come on the summit on the 15th. But the big day, which I'm excited about, will be the Blockchain Education Day on the 16th. And those tickets are cheaper. We get to go on Capitol Hill. So that's going to be exciting. In fact, this is being put together by the Chamber of Digital Commerce, which does a lot of advocacy work in DC. So I'll be there. I'll be podcasting. I'll be talking to different folks. I would love to see you all there, if those who can attend. And you can get a discount on tickets. Check out the link in the description. You can use the code ThinkingCrypto to get a discount, guys. So if you're looking to attend, it'll be great. Speakers they have right now is like Congressman Mike Flood, Senator Kristen Gillibrand, Caitlin Long of Custodia, Senator Cynthia Lummis. You got Patrick McHenry, Hester Peirce, Fred Thiel of Marathon, a bunch of other great speakers. So I'm really looking forward to this. And like I said, I'm happy to be at the summit, but I'm really looking forward to Blockchain Education Day on the 16th to go on Capitol Hill and to talk about crypto. All right, folks, thank you for watching and listening. Great way to support the podcast. Sign up for our free email newsletter, link in the description. Follow us on all social platforms, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook, and much more. Doesn't cost you anything. Just follow, just subscribe. It really helps to the reach of the podcast. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll talk to you all later.